Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we're going to do another pick a card or pick a photo tarot reading, and we're going to be looking at what's next in your love life. This can apply to you if you are single, in a relationship, in a situationship. It doesn't matter, having a crush on someone, having a weird connection with your ex, wherever you're at in life, we're going to tune into what will be happening for you specifically in your love life. Go ahead and check out my last video, or the video I posted before this one, what's next in life generally. I wanted to make two complimentary videos, so check both of them out if you want a fuller overview of your life and what's coming. But once you feel ready, take a moment to breathe deeply, relax, stretch your muscles if you feel called to, and ask yourself or your spirit guides, the universe, what's next for me in my love life. Once you've done so, take a look at all three groups on screen and select whichever one you feel most drawn to. We have group number 1 with the field of sunflowers, group number 2 with 3 palm trees, and group number 3 with what appears to be woods and I think a little creek. It reminds me a lot of Pennsylvania, actually, a lot of where I grew up. Anyways, whichever one you feel most drawn to, select that one. Not even the most pretty, not the one that you like the most, just the one that your eye keeps going back to. That will be your reading. You can either watch through or you can use the timestamps provided down below to jump ahead to your reading. All right, let's dive into it. Hello, group number 1, and welcome. What is next for you in love? I went ahead and selected your rune, rolled the astral dice, and got an animal spirit card for you. So you have the South Node in Capricorn in the 3rd house. Guys, I really actually feel like if you select the group number 1, there may be someone who you have a history with, someone you have a past with, who's coming back up very significantly for you as like a next love interest. And you guys know that I don't say this lightly. Personally, like, my ego does not like delivering messages of like, oh yeah, the past is coming back around, because I don't want anyone to get stuck in a state of limerence over their ex, not able to move on. However, it is none of my business what decides to come through in these readings. I'm really just like a spiritual mailman delivering these messages. And to be honest with you, I do feel if you selected group number 1 that there is someone from your past coming back around, and they will be a part of your sort of like love journey, your next, happenings in love. You have Luna here as well. This is my cat. She's snuggling you. She loves you and she wants you to give her attention. So everyone say hi to Luna. Anyways, you also have the black egg, if you can see it. And this black egg has to deal with truth, understanding, wisdom. Yep. Luna, can you please move? I feel like truths will be coming out. Okay, for a lot of you, I'm just seeing this conversation with someone from your past, someone whom, you may have had issues with in the past. You may have had a really big misunderstanding, and I'm seeing a conversation coming through, especially with the 3rd house coming out and the black egg. There's a conversation that will be happening finally. It feels like a lot of time has passed as well. I'm seeing weeks, months, maybe even a year, maybe even a few years, and perhaps the last misunderstanding that you had, you never really talked through it with this person, and they may be, telling you the truth of their emotions, the truth of their feelings, what's been going on with them. Capricorn's coming out as well. I feel like you've both been working on yourself very substantially, okay? Especially with algaes. This is the rune that came out for you, algaes. It came out perfectly upright like this. This is the rune of self-interest. It's oftentimes worn as an amulet to sort of protect yourself. And it's also like healthy selfishness, People wear this amulet to bring good energy to them whenever they need money, love, just extra luck and blessings. It's great to pray or send good energy to the collective, to those around us, but sometimes we just need that good energy for ourselves. So this is the rune of self-interest in a positive way. So having it come out upright, I feel like you're really on the right path by not necessarily chasing anyone from your past anymore. That may have been a problem you encountered in the past, where you waited for people, you accepted a lot of bad behavior, you chased people. It was sort of codependent, guys. I'm going to call you out here and say you were a little bit codependent in the past. And I feel like this past year for you has really been about working on yourself and really directing a lot of your energy and your focus towards yourself, your goals, and the things in your life that are here for you, that you are growing, okay? I am seeing a lot of you have been focusing really hard on like some sort of personal ambition related to either work or career. I'm also seeing trying to get healthier, in shape, things like that, focusing on the friends and the hobbies that are here for you right now. And you don't have to chase them, you don't have to hunt them down, you don't have to pull teeth to get them to talk to you. That's what you've been focusing on, and I feel like you still have that really good, like, healthy boundaries for you. It seems like there was a necessary period for you and whoever this person is to stay separated and sort of cultivate your own life, your own happiness, and understand that you can be totally happy and more so peaceful, just totally peaceful on your own. Like, you don't need this person, you don't need this relationship. I feel like the universe had to separate you and this person because it was getting unhealthy, it was getting codependent, it was getting toxic a little bit, and the universe separated the two of you in order for you to realize, you know what, I can live this life on my own. I can be at peace, at ease. One thing I'm seeing with the black egg coming out, what separated you from this person could have involved lying by omission. Okay, someone here may have not spoken enough, or like shared their feelings or stuff going on in their life enough. It doesn't feel like flat out lying energy. It feels like someone here may have not told the truth or spoken the truth of their feelings or what's going on in their life within a timely manner. And so I feel like there was questioning here constantly, like anxiety. Oh, are they telling me the truth? Are they hiding feelings? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? It was toxic. It was really toxic. It wasn't good for you. I feel like after you separated from this person, peace peace was restored in your life. You learned how to cultivate that peace. You learned how to sort of continuously keep yourself in a cycle of peace. It feels like in the past you or this person may have had anxiety issues that may have manifested physically. Okay, so that could be like aches and pains, that could be itchiness, skin issues, heart palpitations, anxiety or panic attacks. Things like that may have been present in the past for you. Again, it feels like the universe had to sort of separate you, not only from either this person, but also from any relationship where there was that codependent pattern. Okay, a lot of you guys suffered from relationship anxiety in the past, where you would get too caught up in waiting for people's texts and calls to come in. And it sort of became an addiction. What you guys may not see is that you were actually addicted to romance, to love in the past, okay? Because there were elements of your personal life that you weren't super happy with. And you felt with those areas of life that you sort of had to wait for those areas of life to get better. And in order to sort of numb the pain or the discomfort from those areas of your life not being happy, you may have looked to relationships as sort of an escape from that reality. Or, because romantic relationships can release a lot of feel-good hormones like dopamine, serotonin, things like that. And so I think subconsciously you may have become addicted to the highs of relationships, but then it formed a negative cycle and the highs became really high, the lows became really low. This was a subconscious process. You didn't realize you were doing this as it was going on here. So the universe found a way to sort of separate you from either this person or just from people in general in the past, whenever it would start to get into that pattern of like chasing the highs of relationships, okay? This was a negative pattern within yourself. Now, I'm only talking about this because this is a reading for you. I am not saying that this person or the people of your past were perfect and that they didn't contribute at all to the downfall of this connection. No, we're just focusing on you because that's who's watching right now. That is who is important right now, you. And I feel like you, this past year, have been learning how to just like we said, have fun on your own, work on your own life. And it feels like you've really been focusing on that area of life that you were dissatisfied with, that caused this sort of love addiction, I guess you could call it, or like codependency in the first place. Okay, I'm also seeing an increase in your independence that's been happening. We have the Queen of Wands, exactly. This is where your energy has been at. Okay, focusing on your ambitions, being a really good leader. I'm also seeing warm, charismatic energies from you. Okay, you may have been more social during this separation, this period of being single. You may have, talk to like more friends and put yourself out there more. I'm seeing you focusing on hobbies, focusing on friends that are here for you right now, focusing on your personal ambitions and healthy lifestyle, even things like pets and like house plants, gardening, travel. I'm seeing as well these beautiful experiences. You've turned yourself into this queen or king, whatever you identify as, someone who can stand on their own. You have your own little kingdom, and by kingdom I mean your support system. These were the things that were lacking for you in the past that created disharmony in your relationships. We have the Fool in reverse. Okay, now we're getting more so into what is coming in your love life, and I am seeing a new beginning is starting to open up. The energy I'm feeling here that I actually really like is that you're a little bit hesitant on just marching forward with anyone from the past. I don't know why I'm seeing the energy of like, do I give a second chance or do I create a whole new beautiful beginning? Okay, a part of you seems to crave familiarity. We have, wow, Two of Cups came out perfectly horizontal. I'll put it up right just, for the sake of balance, but it did come out very neutral. And this is literally like kind of actually the fact that it came out horizontal, not upright nor in reverse, and with the Fool in reverse, I feel like you have an option for partnership in the future, but you don't necessarily have to take it. It's not necessarily destined. It's just an option, a nice little option from the universe here. But that totally symbolizes what we were talking about, like, because the Two of Cups upright talks about a perfectly happy, healthy, harmonized relationship where both people are very different, but it's balanced. It's equal. It's not codependent. Two of Cups in reverse really does represent a codependent relationship and everything that you've experienced in the past. And remember, the planet that came out for you is the South Node, okay? From the astrology dice. And the South Node represents, your karma, the things from your past that you need to leave behind, your comfort, your familiarity. Okay, so I find it very, very interesting. If someone is coming back from your past, which we did pick up on, I'm seeing a hesitation from you because it's like, I don't want to go back to that codependency. I don't want to go back to that imbalance that we experienced. It feels like you guys did a lot of the chasing or waiting, and I feel like you're almost refusing to go back to that. But you also have an open mind. If this person has also put in the work and has also changed, I feel like you might have an open mind for that. We have the Ace of Cups that just came out in reverse here. Wow, an emotional offer. Wanting an emotional offer, waiting for an emotional offer to come forward. Very, very fascinating. Let's see. We need to get more information. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I'm seeing a fear within you guys. I don't want to go back to codependency. I don't want to go back to... Also, another thing I'm seeing, a lot of you watching may have been very content and peaceful, happy with being single. Okay, but I feel there is an open mind. You want love again, but it's like you worked so hard to get peaceful where you're at. And I almost get this fear coming from within yourself of like, okay, if I open myself back up to love, what if I just fall back into those old ways? We have the Three of Cups in reverse that just flew out. There's also fear here of being lied to about something, either cheated on, something like that. See, this is what I'm saying. Someone from your past may be coming back around, but we already know where you went wrong in the past in love. But with this specific person that's coming back and communicating with you, they may have withheld important information from you. Okay, I don't know why I'm seeing like they may have withheld... And you would already know what this is, by the way. I'm not predicting this. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I feel like this person, whoever it may be, one of the examples that is coming through, they could have been like friends with their ex and not told you that was their ex, or not told you they were talking to their ex. This could also be like someone coming through trying to flirt with them inappropriately. They never told you. This could be like maybe they had a friend and you even like met the friend, heard about the friend. You didn't know that they had a history. You know, there's something here where it feels like there was withheld information that really, really hurt you when you found out. And it feels like it hurt extra because your own intuition had to tell you about this, you know? Your own psychic, sort of energetic intuition told you that the vibe was off, you know? But you questioned it. You chose to trust and you got hurt because of it. And so I do see a great hesitation that you're going to have when this person tries coming back and explaining their sides of things. Really, really fascinating. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Some of you guys I am seeing might reject. Yeah, we have the 7 of Cups. It's so confusing. I don't think you're gonna hear them out. I feel hear their side of things, but right now, as we're doing this reading, I feel like most of you are leaning towards, oh, I would reject that person. Yeah, I would reject that person. Unless you literally see physical, tangible evidence of them changing, of them being open, I feel like you're pretty much going to reject them. What's next in love? You're breaking hearts. Now, this isn't set in stone, guys. And notice all the cups coming out here. It's very much undecided. You know, the energy can still change. It could flow different. Oh my God, what's next in love? Someone's going to try coming back, communicating their truth to you. You might reject them unless you see physical, tangible evidence. We have the Temperance card coming out horizontal like this, neither upright nor reverse. We'll put it upright though, just for the sake of balance. And yeah, this is a very temperamental person. It's like you had a lot of emotions for this person, for this relationship, for this thing in the past. And I feel like you're sort of acting as this Temperance angel here, remaining completely balanced, completely open, hearing this person out. But you're going to come up with a decision based off of, I feel like logic and peace. You know, what is the most peaceful decision that I can make here that supports my happiness? You know, is this possible? I feel like your headspace is actually in a really healthy space, group number 1. I feel like you're protected with algae coming out. You're protecting yourself, okay? Which I really, really love here. And I do see that you want love. You do want a relationship, something, you know, like this 2 of Cups energy, a nice balanced, harmonized relationship. You're open to it. Of course, I mean, who wouldn't want that? But at the same time, it's like, okay, I gotta be careful. I gotta take care of myself because in the past, you know, I had this issue of codependency. You're not wanting to repeat the pattern because you've done so much hard work with Capricorn coming out, 9 of Wands. Yeah, you did a lot of healing. And a lot of you may even be questioning, like, should I even get into a new relationship? Should I even open my heart up to that? Like, has enough time passed by? I wouldn't necessarily worry about the timing of everything here. Yeah, I think when you do decide to open your heart back up, though, there will be a little bit of trust issues that you're going to have to work through. You know, you can do so much healing work as a single person alone, but, you know, you can only do so much. And then it reaches a point where it's like, okay, you need to literally just open your heart back up and get into relationships. And there will be more to be healed. I'm just telling you that now. If your trust has been betrayed in the past, which I do see with the 3 of Cups in reverse, and this doesn't have to be betrayed by romantic people. This could even be betrayed by your own friends type of energy. It just feels like you were hurt after working towards something, building up some sort of friendship or relationship. And that was like the last straw for you. And that was a karmic situation that had you learn how to cultivate your own peace and happiness, because before that pain happened, you were putting a lot of your happiness and fulfillment onto other people and your relationships. It was codependent, it was unbalanced. And so from this painful ending, it triggered a stage in your life where you essentially learned how to cultivate that peace and happiness alone. Okay, and not necessarily alone, but, you know, having multiple friends and support system and hobbies and things that make you happy, a routine for yourself that supports your mental health. You know, you're not pinning all of that fulfillment and contentment and good energy onto one single person and one single relationship, which you were doing in the past. You pinning all of that up on one person is why you would have experiences like feeling anxious when you didn't hear back from them, or just like waiting for them to call, waiting for them to do this or that. You know, it happened because so much of your happiness was at stake and pinned to this one person. All your eggs were in one basket, essentially. And, you know, that basket unfortunately fell and broke and shattered to smithereens. So, yeah. It's almost like you had to break your heart completely open in order for you to realize that peace and love was within you all along, and you didn't need anyone else to access that. But the beautiful thing is, like, you learned how to access that on your own, no matter what your circumstances are and no matter who's in your life. So I feel like from this point onwards, you're gonna have that knowledge and that wisdom. Okay, so even if you get into a new relationship and it starts going downhill fast, like, you have a routine, you have a support system, you have hobbies, you have friends, like, you always have access to this foundation of self-care and self-love and inner peace. Okay, every other relationship in your life should only be adding to that. It shouldn't be subtracting that away from you. And it's a pretty big red flag for me when you get into a relationship and they try to subtract those things from you. For example, you get into a relationship and they insinuate that you should spend less time with your friends and family and only spend time with them. Like, dump that person, okay? I don't see that for you. I feel like you are not that naive. I feel like you've had the experiences in life to recognize those types of red flags here, and I feel like you'll avoid them. Yeah. Another problem that I'm seeing from I'm sorry I keep talking so much about your past, and this is literally a reading that is focusing on what's next for you in love, but I feel like your past is playing such an important role here. Another issue in your past was wearing rose-colored glasses, seeing people for their inner light and not necessarily how they choose to behave in the present moment. And that got you into trouble as well and caused you to ignore your own intuition a lot. So these are all things I'm seeing you're worrying about repeating, even though they won't necessarily be repeated. I just got a message coming through, and it may be a little bit late to say this because some of the people who this is going to resonate for may have already clicked off, but for some of you, you may be at a different timeline in this reading. So I feel like the majority of you are single and you've already had this period of independence. There are a few of you watching, though, where you may be in a codependent relationship currently, and, you know, this is actually showing you your next step, which is actually like a separation and moving forward on your own, learning how to cultivate that peace, that happiness within yourself. I wish I got that message in the beginning of this reading, because I'm sure if this resonates with you, you know, you may have just sat through all of that and be like, oh, this doesn't resonate at all. This doesn't resonate at all. But if you made it this far, this can definitely still be for you if you have that intuitive feeling of like being in an unhealthy, unbalanced relationship, and all of the things that we just talked about with the unspoken truths that are really necessary if your partner has been hiding things or not saying things that they should have shared with you, okay, lying by omission, that's called, then this is definitely your reading. And if you're still with that person, I do feel like a period of separation is on the horizon for you, which will lead you to this Queen of Wands era, focusing really hard on your goals, okay, especially education or career goals for sure. And moving forward with that, I'm even seeing an increased focus on health and fitness, which is beautiful, you know, just taking really good care of yourself. And I feel like a lot of peace is going to be restored if you are still in that area of life where you're with this person, and they'll come back around, okay? I don't think your connection is completely done. Now, for most of you, you've already been through that, and now we're saying, yeah, they're coming back around. And there's going to be a conversation, I feel, about deeper emotions and where you stand with each other and the separation that happened. I feel like essentially you are going to talk about this separation with the person that it occurred with, even if, you know, the separation occurred like a year ago, 2 years ago, a few months, a few weeks, it doesn't matter. I'm seeing a conversation come through. For some of you watching, you may not have been in an official relationship with this person, although I feel like for most of you, you were in an official relationship. This may have been like a situationship or something equivalent to that. And again, it feels like you ended on a negative note, on a big misunderstanding, and it feels like the other person not communicating enough, not communicating something they were supposed to, not being clear in their communication. It feels like they weren't clear in their communication because they were afraid of how you would react, being someone who has strong boundaries and taking good care of yourself. See, here's the thing. You weren't perfect in the past, as we mentioned, like a little bit of love addiction there, a little bit of codependency. However, I do feel like despite that, you actually were really emotionally mature and intelligent and, you know, yeah, like kind of better at most people than handling relationships, okay? I'm just being honest there. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but let's move on. What is next for you in love? Let's see what decks we want to use. You're my first group here, so I always just try to figure it out in group number 1. I don't plan these things, really. Let's use the Moonology deck. We're going to shuffle it up and get a message from Mama Moon. What is next for group number 1 in love? The moon rules over our emotions, our relationships. Okay, you had a card fall out and go straight to the floor. Love that. Okay, so you have the third quarter moon. Adjustments are required. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just seeing if you're going to forgive this person and let them back in your life, like I said, you're going to have to see an actual change from them and see actual adjustments. So I feel like there's a conversation coming when it comes to that. Let's read this from the book. Why not? I also feel like the moon itself may line up with when this conversation takes place. It may take place on a significant moon for you, like a new moon or a full moon, one of the eclipses that are coming up. Or I don't know, for example, I recently met someone in person, and we met on like I believe the Virgo full moon, and the last time I talked to them I was like, oh my gosh, when we're both free we should definitely meet up, and I said that on the Virgo new moon, so it's like it had time to grow. So you could be having some sort of significant connection to the moon cycles with this person. If I can even find the third quarter moon in this book, geez. Okay, here it is. Think of yourself as a vessel that has been filled more and more over the past few weeks. Some of what has come your way may have been wonderful, but there's also a lot of negativity, and you need to let go of this. Whatever situation you're asking about now, be honest about whether there are toxic emotions involved, which you need to release into the ethers. I want to pause and say, wow. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was some sort of toxicity in the past with this person, or even in just your past history in general, that you need to let go of. Like, I feel like you're fully being asked to release that old version of you that operated in relationships like that. I'm also seeing when it comes to this specific person from your past, there may need to be a release of the past, of the history that you shared with this person, from your aura and your energy. Even if you don't want anything to do with them in the future, it's still good to sort of let go of any resentments that you have towards this person and sort of try to view it as a fresh blank slate here. And we see that in the Fool coming out in reverse, like entering something as if it's a blank slate here, but it's in reverse. And I feel like, you know, it's hard for you to sort of enter into a new future with someone who you have a history with, without having that history like in the back of your mind, you know. So you may need to consider that when it comes to your decision makings. And is it like, can you truly let go of the past if you do see an improvement in current circumstances? This card also comes with the promise that not all is lost. However, there are changes or adjustments required before you will get to where you want to be. A change of course is forecast now that recent events have been understood and acted upon. There may also be a crisis now, which will remind you of what you want and what it's time to let go of, so pay attention. I'm telling you, I feel like this is really in alignment with everything we picked up on, like this big moment of like analyzing the past, releasing what doesn't work from the past, and moving towards the future is coming through. So when this person comes through to talk to you, I'm not seeing you're going to make any specific decision. Like, that'll be personal to you. Some of you will say, you know what, I see that you've changed. I see that this could work, and you'll invite this person in if you can successfully let go of the past and everything that happened to you. And that may be beautiful. For others of you, you may be saying, no way, Jose. And having this conversation just really validates that, and you're able to move on forward. So it's like either way, I feel like the energy is good for like turning a page in your love life. This card came out from the Lovers Oracle, very beautiful, and it says, romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. Yeah, after this conversation takes place, I feel like there will be a lot of romance coming forward for you, either with this person or with someone new. It's almost like this is coming back up to be released and let go of, and so that way you can move forward with or without this person. And then after that, it's like you're energetically free, you know, and that's when this romance will open up. We also have this card coming out, and it says, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. See, that's what I'm saying. What you choose to do here is completely up to you. There's no right or wrong. So I can't tell you what to do here. All right. I can only tell you what the energy is saying. So I feel like it's half and half though. Like half of you, you know, will want to restart with this person from your past coming back around. And the other half of you will want to move on and move forward. And right after you have this conversation, I feel romance will definitely be like sweeping you off your, well, not that, I don't want to use the phrase sweeping you off your feet. I feel like that's what you're afraid of, being swept off your feet again and prioritizing love above all else, like romantic love, and just falling back into those codependent, unhealthy ways. I really want to validate you and say that, like, I feel like for the majority of you, that's not going to happen because you're so aware of not wanting that to happen, okay? So, really interesting. Wow, we have cleaned it up. That just popped out. Did you see how that literally popped out? Went straight to the center of this reading. I'm going to read the romance message that comes along with this, the relationship message. But yeah, this already feels in alignment with everything we're saying. Like, clean out all of those old feelings of resentment or whatever. Here's the relationship message. Time to clear the air. Take a look at your side of the street and say what's on your mind. Yes, that with the black egg, both people saying what's on their mind, actually talking through things that you never talked about with this person before, you know? Wow. Okay. I would recommend, if there is someone from your past like this coming back up wanting to talk, literally schedule in several hours with this person, and like one day we're going to talk through everything, and like that's the intention, and make it a nice place. Like you can sit down maybe in one of your homes or a really cozy location with like hours that are suitable, and just hash everything out there, you know what I mean? Say what's on your mind. Sweep away the old stuff so that a spring breeze can flow through with new energy. Yes, this is what we're saying, guys. It's the perfect time to do an inventory of your dynamics and see what's yours and what's not yours to clean up the relationship. Everyone brings some baggage. Sort through what you brought with you and let go of what is no longer needed. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and this same message applies if you're deciding not to go along with the past person and you have a new person coming in here. Yeah, like I was trying to say, like you can do all the healing you want when you're single, but there's still going to be stuff that comes up when you finally enter into that new relationship or that new dynamic. Like there may be some trust issues coming through. Some of you may be going through that right now, and you're needing to let go of those trust issues. Okay, so wow, there's so many different dynamics and people watching group number 1, I feel, but the overarching message here is letting go of the past and moving on from the past. Crazy, and some sort of big conversation. Okay, become unencumbered and your relationship will flourish. Beautiful. Wow. Yeah, if you can't let go of the past, I feel like that'll be an issue. Even if you're deciding to stay with this past person who's coming back up and try things again, like you're gonna have to release resentment or anger towards what may have happened in the past with them. Wow, we have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. And we have honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Yeah, I'm seeing one-on-one time coming through. I'm seeing some sort of significant vacation or travel plans coming through. Some of you are making pretty big plans. I don't know why I want to say some of you may be making travel plans with your ex or someone from your past. We have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Yeah, if I could summarize your reading with one card, it would be that one. Oh my gosh. Let's get one more card. These are from the Romance Angels, by the way. And we have attraction. Oh my gosh, this is a really important one. This is where you're at currently, I feel. You attract romantic love by enjoying the moment fully. This card is so important. I want to read it to you from the book because I know this card very well. Like a good friend, the romance angels send you this card to tell you the truth. The best way to have more romance in your life is through attraction rather than through strenuous effort. Exactly. That's where you went wrong in the past. You were chasing, you were waiting, you put in so much effort, but like way too much effort to the point where like it fell apart. And now you're learning that you are the most attractive when you're fully enjoying yourself in the present. Your joyful laughter, self-expression, and body language are beautiful. In contrast, any stress you experience as you strain to find romance or keep it pushes against the stream of life. Strain comes from a place of fear with an underlying worry, maybe I won't receive this. See, that fear is what caused you codependency and issues in the past in your relationships. Like, I'm afraid they're going to lose, or they're going to walk away, I'm going to lose this, or I won't receive this. You know, they won't propose, they won't do this, they won't do that. And that fear actually contributed to the downfall of relationships in past, you know? Now, granted, like I said, I'm not trying to put all the blame on you because certainly the other person as well had their issues, and I'm seeing like things like either lying or hiding things, not communicating enough coming from the other person. You both were at like a similar vibration that led to a downfall of this connection. And you know, I almost feel like this situation where you separated, you focused on yourself, you learned how to enjoy the present moment fully and not chase anything or anyone, you know. And that's why this is able to come back around, like, okay, are we ready for this time around, or do you want to move on and find another soulmate? Really interesting. That fear then attracts the very thing that you worry about. Stress creates wrinkles, bodily tension, and a constricted voice, and other unattractive characteristics. So go smell a rose and fully enjoy its fragrant beauty. Allow yourself simple pleasures that lead to great joy. Affirm frequently that you are loved and lovable. Visualize a wonderful romantic relationship with a great partner. Take excellent care of yourself and follow your inner guidance. Via the law of attraction, you'll draw romantic love to you through your own attractive nature. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to do something just for you. I wasn't really planning on using this deck, and I probably won't use it in the other groups, but I really felt the presence of this past person coming through for you guys, and I kind of want to see what their current thoughts and feelings are towards you. So I'm going to be using the channeled romantic messages oracle deck that I made and see what they want to say to you. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles. I appreciate all that you do. Your independence. Oh my God, this is literally what we were just saying. Your independence and self-sufficiency is so attractive. This is the thing. It's like when you wanted to be with them, when you were trying, when you were straining to like have a great relationship with them, it almost felt like they didn't want it or they were running away from it. And it's like when you were single, you couldn't care less about them. Like you're just focusing on you. Weirdly enough, that's like when this relationship or friendship, whatever it may be, became thriving and beautiful. You have a serene, healing energy, group number one. That's the energy you cultivated. That's your natural energy, by the way. That's your natural aura. It's not that you changed and you're becoming this attractive person because of heartbreak. No, like this is who you were all along. Your self-respect is a turn on. The way you dress is attractive, and your generosity and kindness is noticed. Sorry. Wow, exactly. This person's coming back around because they are almost more attracted to you now that you like are self-sufficient, and you're that's what I'm saying. It's not even that you changed anything. This is just you. But when you're not chasing anyone, you're so attractive. You know what I mean? When you're not trying to force a relationship or even like put up with other people's toxicity, that's when you're your most attractive. Even if the person that's attracted to you for those reasons, you're not putting up with their toxicity. They end up more attracted to you for that. We have the Sun. I enjoy every second spent with you. Exactly. This person, and with the honeymoon card, it's like they daydream about traveling or living with you, like spending time with you. And I feel like they really want that. But, you know, obviously you have a history here, more energy and time spent together. And we do see that in the honeymoon card as well. daydreaming of a life spent together, a growing relationship, creative ways of showing love. We have, quote, I want your baby, honeymoon every day. Honeymoon's coming out twice now. And they want to go on dates and travel with you. And then we have the Eight of Cups. I'm just not sure what else we can gain here. I don't think we are emotionally compatible. I'm sad about this, but I need to follow my intuition. We just want different things. See, now we're seeing the part of them that also is doubting your connection. I feel like you're both doubting this, so I wouldn't get offended by this if I were you, because you're doing the same exact thing. And we saw that in the tarot here as well, where it's like your heart may still be a little bit open, especially with the Temperance card here. You have a lot of emotions towards them, but you really are doubting it, because it's like, man, we really just like did not work that in the past, you know. Neither of you want that toxicity again. But the weird thing is you both love each other and want to spend time with each other. Something feels like it's missing in this connection. Emotional intelligence, but also emotional incompatibility. So yeah, that definitely there were some incompatibilities in the past. And I just dropped a card onto the ground on accident, but let's see what it says. Oh wait, no, there's two cards on the ground. Wow, there's two cards on the ground. I didn't even see them. Okay, the one. We have Temperance. Oh my God, that's coming out again. And it says, I have so many emotions for you. It's hard to hold it together. I try to remain calm and unbothered on the surface. Learning to trust each other, emotional intensity, trying to be both emotional and practical. And then we have the Page of Wands. I want to woo you. Yeah, they want to impress you. They want you to notice them. New relationship, still trying to impress you. This person has a hard on for you. Talkative and charming, youthful and energetic. Texting and writing might be easier than speaking for them. And it also says pay attention to actions as well as words when it comes to this person. But yeah, guys, this is definitely someone who has feelings for you. They want to woo you. They want to catch your eye. They want to spend more time with you. They want to travel, go on like a honeymoon type of energy with you, which is really weird because you're not together. It feels like you separated. For most of you at least, but they are doubting it because you know, there was emotional incompatibilities in the past, but what they do know is that they are incredibly attracted to you. I'm seeing here like they have never been more like sexually attracted to someone in their life. I'm being honest. And like I said, they just enjoy spending time with you. You know, it's not one of those situations where you're spending time together and they're like, man, I just can't wait for them to go home. Like, no, they want to spend more time with you. They fantasize like, oh my God, how cool would it be if we lived together, or if we, you know, went on this sort of vacation. Like, it would be really, really cool, and I could, like, you know, kiss them, hold them, hug them, do other things with them whenever we both want. Yeah, they have a lot of emotions for you. I think you're both in a similar spot where those emotions are present, but you're both doubting it because of your history. And there seems to be a separation here where you both did a lot of healing. You both did a lot of learning and growing. Forgiveness may or may not have happened, but is definitely going to be needed if you are to move on, either with them or without them. But yeah, I'm seeing some sort of actual conversation coming through with this person in the near future, and that will allow you to actually open your heart back up after that conversation takes place, either with this person or with someone new. And that'll be different for all of you, so you're just gonna have to, you know, wait and see what happens there. Well, don't wait. That's the message with attraction, Nine of Pentacles, all that. Like, keep cultivating, or not cultivating, focusing on your own inner sense of peace. Focus on your own ambitions, your own life, and don't live your life waiting for something to happen. Live your life as if, you know, everything that's currently happening in your life is your reality. What would you do then? You know what I mean? Even if you get like psychic inclinations that someone has deeper feelings, or there's a conversation coming up, like, just keep living your life assuming that what's happening in the physical present moment is what's happening. That's my best piece of advice to anyone who's spiritually or psychically sensitive, because sometimes we get so caught up in waiting because we pick up on what other people's emotions and feelings are. And it's like, you can't go by that, because a lot of people don't talk about those emotions. They don't act on them. You know, they ignore their intuition. It's weird when you're psychically sensitive, which I feel like you are if you select the group number 1. Like, you can pick up on what other people's intuitions are telling them to do, but that doesn't guarantee that they're going to do that. You know what I mean? So don't get caught into that trap of waiting. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I had so much fun with you. Definitely get a personal reading with me one-on-one. For more specific information on your love life, I do offer a love reading there, and I want to do some more personal readings, so go ahead and get that, okay? On my website, spiritpsychic.org. You can also get spiritual life coaching sessions with me, it's a very great offering. You can ask whatever questions you want each week. I will do an hour-long video reading for you, as well as daily email correspondence. And there's no scheduling. It's just, you get your reading once a week. You get your daily email correspondence. If you want it, you don't have to take it, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't need to schedule anything, so it's pretty great. I also offer my intention oils there, so check that out. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you want personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I just said that. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome. Let's see what's in store for you. What's next in love? Okay, so I already went ahead and shuffled. Oh my god, I said this in group number 1. I shuffled the Astro dice. I threw out the Astro dice. Why can't I talk today? Oh my gosh, we're already off to a fun start. This is gonna be a great reading. And pulled your rune, pulled your animal spirit to represent what's next for you in love, and you have Neptune in Taurus in the 2nd house coming out. And right away, I'm feeling a connection with someone who is dreamy, spiritually minded, very in-depth conversations, philosophical. This is someone who you find yourself talking to for hours on end, without stop, without break. And also I'm feeling a sort of energy where, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this before, where you just feel high around someone. It's really hard to explain. It's like you could be completely sober, and in fact, I actually think this person, if anything, is very sober. Okay, they may, and by that, they could drink alcohol, they could smoke or whatever, but it feels like someone who is very particular about what they put in their body. They could avoid things like gluten or meat or dairy or something like that. Their body could have sensitivities to that. I know we're getting real specific here, but they do have this sort of sober energy to them. But the weird thing is, it feels like 2 individuals, you and them, who have this sort of sober mind, high vibrational energy. You both feel really awakened and aware of deeper things in life. This is someone who's not living in the matrix, not stuck in the matrix. And when the 2 of you get together, it sort of makes both of you more spiritually connected, if that makes sense. It amplifies that energy between both of you. So this could very well be a connection between 2 light workers, you and someone else. We also have Taurus in the 2nd house, so there is something here, and with Othala coming out as your rune in the reverse position, there's something here about authority, money, status, responsibility. It's coming out in reverse though, and intuitively I'm picking up this sense of there may be a huge difference between you and this person, whoever it may be, when it comes to finances, when it comes to money. I'm feeling money matters shifting in your life. Some of you who selected group number 2, you may have been very, very broke for years, and you may have a huge shift in wealth happen for you right now or in the near future. Or if you're in a long-term relationship, your partner could also have this huge shift happen. This could also be a connection coming through where one of you may have grown up very wealthy, the other person may have grown up very not wealthy, and the differences in mentality and privilege may actually be a point of concern, or a point of just having 2 different mindsets and perspectives in life. It feels like you and someone else have completely different perspective, but the one thing that you do share is this deep sense of spirituality and connection. And also with all this Taurus energy, you have Taurus in the 2nd house. The 2nd house is ruled by Taurus. It's Taurus's home. I really, really feel that you and this person, whoever they may be, love the more sensual side of life. Things like live music, really good foods, just feeling good in general, exercising, stretching, etc. I'm even seeing things like art appreciation, an appreciation of culture and the arts. So definitely the cool side of this connection is you can talk to them for hours and you both really, really enjoy the arts and culture, and maybe you're both creative in that way and spiritual, which is really a great combination. I want to remind you, group number 2, that every relationship has its issues, and of course this is not an exception of that, which I think is why Othala came out in reverse, because there's a huge difference here in either money, material matters, or perspective because of that. Really fascinating. Oh, wow. We have the dragon came out. Oh, sorry. I literally, I'm in shock a little bit. Well, I'm not in shock, but right before your reading, I was literally thinking about dragons. I was listening to someone else's reading on YouTube, and they mentioned dragons. And earlier today, my partner asked me to draw them a dragon because they've been really into dragons recently. And we're in the year of the dragon, and I was just literally, when I was shuffling your cards, could not stop thinking about dragons. I was thinking about all the ideas I have, and I just saw 111 on the clock. Okay, 11:01. So that represents a new beginning as well. I was thinking about dragons, and I was thinking about specifically, this is gonna get really, really specific, a rainbow flower dragon. I have this idea in my head of drawing a dragon that's made up of all these different flowers. And I really actually feel, if you select group number 2, there is a strong dragon energy coming from you and around you. Okay, if you believe in spirit guides, which you probably do if you watch my channel, I definitely feel like you have not just one, but actually a lot of dragon spirits that love being around you in life. It feels like you may have some sort of past life connection or correlation to dragon spirits. Okay, they're very, very, very wise, way more intelligent than any human. And I don't know why, they just really favor your spirit, your energy. Dragons bring about, they're these mythical beings, right? So if you don't believe in them, hang tight there. Just use this as a metaphor for your reading. But I believe a lot of these mythical beings do exist. And a very, very long time ago, in a different age in this world, they set up I'm going to sound nuts to some of you, they set up a sort of veil between them and us humans. The very physical realm then split between the very physical realm that we're in, this sort of matrix where a few people wake up. And then the other half of that is where everyone is awakened, these magical entities and beings. And they can sort of slip into the physical realm whenever they want, but we can't necessarily just slip into their sort of mythical, magical realm whenever we want. Does that make sense? Anyways, this is a vision that I saw years ago. That as I'm explaining this, I just know for a fact someone here is just this girl's nuts. So I'm laughing, but a fairy showed me this vision when I was shamanic journeying, doing some mediumship. Fairy spirits are very, very real, helpful. I connect with them very well, and they showed me this whole story about how a lot of these mythical beings, especially fairies, created this veil in a different age because there was this huge war between humans and a lot of these sort of more spiritually gifted creatures, let's just say. Anyways, dragons, in my opinion, still exist in that realm, and that realm heavily influences this realm. And I remember there was multiple times in my life where I really, really heavily felt dragon energy strong in the air. Okay, now I'm going to give you an example of one of these, but it is a little political, so just stand by for a second. I know this seems like it has nothing to do with your reading. I don't know where this is taking us, but we're going to find out together. When Donald Trump got elected out of office, I just so happened to live in the county that was sort of the last county voted that shifted the votes from Donald Trump winning to Joe Biden winning. And I remember it was really, really stormy out that day, and there was these huge thunderous energy in the sky. And I just intuitively knew like that is a dragon breaking up the anger, the pain, the resentment. Because that was a really intense election. Like, I'm telling you, like, America was on the brink of civil war with that one. And that's what dragon spirits are really known to do, like break up a lot of tension and energy. I felt that same dragon energy literally as it was storming out in June of 2020, actually, the end of June 2020, there was a huge storm again. And there was so much anger and tension and resentment, so many feelings in the air. You guys know, any Americans that you know, June 2020, with the George Floyd protests and so much rioting and everything, there was like tangible tension in the air. Very, very sad time. And again, I felt that dragon energy come through. There was this huge storm that swept through, and again, thunderous, very loud thunder. And I felt that thunder breaking up so much of the tension that was building. Anyways, I have no idea why I felt guided to share this with you. I feel like the dragon spirit is connecting with you at this time. And you know what? I'm getting these visions of thunder, of lightning, of like a huge amount of tension being built up and broken down. Now, this theme is coming through in a What's Next in Your Love Life reading. So I would not be shocked, and again, bear with me here, if some of you guys have been building up some more sexual tension for a long time, and that's being broken up, and you're like, finally, in the near future, which is so fun. Or maybe between you and another person, there may be a lot of tension, flirtation that's building and building and building and building and building, and like thunderously, finally, that tension is broken. You know what I mean. Okay. But this is beautiful. I love that the dragon spirit is coming out with Neptune, because I just know this is a deeply spiritually aware and awakened connection with someone who is equally as hip to the knowledge as you are, you know. This is not someone who is gonna, oh, and you know what, it's funny, when I was explaining all this fairy and dragon stuff, I kind of felt the energy of like being judged. So I wonder, group number 2, if you've only really been with people who sort of like, not judge, but like don't really respect your beliefs and opinions. And it's going to feel so different to be with someone who not only validates your opinions and your deeper philosophies and thoughts on life, but share those philosophies and thoughts on life. It's going to feel so different. And that part of you is going to be so amplified by connecting with this person. It's going to feel unlike anything you've ever felt before, I want to say. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to say this so you put this person on a pedestal. Never a good idea. But let's see what else comes out for you. Oh, this is very curious. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse here. Yeah, and this coming out as your first card. For some reason, whenever I read tarot, the first cards always remind me of like what you've been dealing with, what's been going on, your past, etc. And I'm seeing here lack of commitment. You know, you may have been with people who really just didn't want to ascend your level of commitment any further, or they were very like not open with their feelings, you know, kind of emotionally unavailable, either emotionally unavailable, or if they were emotionally available, they were someone who did not want to match the level of commitment that you wanted. Like maybe you always wanted marriage, they never wanted that. So yeah, wow, 7 of Swords just came out in reverse here. And yeah, these were people who, you know, they felt really naive, like just wanting to take all of the blessings and good energy that you bring here. Oh my gosh, I'm getting like a vision of, oh my gosh, I just got like, sorry, so many different visions just popped into my head of like past lives. You know, I was just telling you this story about how the fairies were telling me that there was this war that was waged against humans and like magical creatures, kind of like Shrek, if you've ever seen Shrek. And that's why they put up this veil, and that's why, you know, humans and sirens and dragons, things like that, are so common and seen all throughout our society, but not like physical entities. It's like, where did this come from? It came from somewhere, right? And they, like I said, they still have heavy influence over our physical world. It's hard to describe because the science behind this stuff has not necessarily been proven yet. So I just sound like a crazy person. However, I feel, actually, if you select the group number 2, you have had past lives as these mythical beings, which I'm not surprised. A lot of times this comes out in my readings. Like, a lot of people who watch me have had so many past lives as either like fairies, pixies, nymphs, for sure. I'm seeing nymphs, especially sirens, especially as well. Mer people, things like that, even dragons, dragon riders, multiple past lives like that. Okay. And you may identify with one in particular, totally fine. And I feel that in those past lives, and again, if you don't believe in this stuff, take it as a metaphor, you had people sort of, there's like a trauma from these past lives, a soul wounding, because there were people who wanted to sort of bottle up your magic and use it for their selfish reasons, or like capture you and use your magic for their personal gain, their selfish reasons. Oh my gosh. And you know what's funny? These fairies that told me this story long ago, many years ago, they never went into detail. And I actually feel like they're channeling that through your reading now. It's like, this makes so much sense. It wasn't that they were like just jealous humans trying to kill these mystical, magical beings. It was that they were also trying to capture, enslave, and make prisoner of these more magical entities and beings for their own personal use, because they didn't have those abilities, or they have fallen out of touch with their own sense of magic. I feel like humans are these sort of middle creatures that once we fully evolve, we'll realize our personal magic, which is being able to be connected to all beings and tap a little bit into any soul, any spirit that we want to. But that's a whole philosophical conversation for another day. Anyways, I feel like you had past lives with this trauma of being captured and used for your magic. And I feel like in this life, that trauma repeated itself because it was never healed. That part of your soul still lies in the past. And you may have connected with people, relationships where you felt like they just sucked the magic out of you, or it's these people who fell in love with you for your wings, for your freedom, for your magic, and then in the relationships with them, they may have tried to clip those wings and wanted you all to themselves, and in a really toxic, unhealthy way, by the way. And I just feel that was a repeating of those core wounds. And if I were you, I would recommend doing a soul retrieval to go back and introduce yourself now, presently, to that old life of yours as that mythical being, and invite that part of you to follow you back to your body, and in this present life, nurture them and sort of like protect them, and let them know that you're not going to put yourself in any more circumstances where you're going to let other people clip your wings and take your magic for their own personal, selfish character development, leaving you with trauma and being bound up. This is a beautiful message. Yeah. And once you do that, everything's going to change in your love life, in your life in general, but your love life as well. I swear every time I do these readings, I'm like, I'm not going to get too far out there. I'm not going to, say all this crazy stuff. And then it always comes up coming through. So if you're into this, definitely subscribe if you've not already, because I swear so many of my readings get into these weird, deep messages, past lives. Have been coming through so often for me recently in readings. We have the Queen of Wands. I love that. This came out for group number 1 as well. Queen of Wands is honestly one of my favorite queens, and she really represents just her own magic. And I love how we have this yellow here, and I'm viewing this as your past partners and people and life. And like, look, it's like they stole the happiness, the joy, the peace out of you. They wanted to be selfish there. And similar to group number 1, you found your own sense of inner peace and happiness. I'm seeing you in a leadership position in life, really happy with your ambitions, your goals, your career, your friends, your pets, your plants, whatever you have going for you. You're really tuning into that. The Queen of Wands speaks of being your own boss, essentially. A lot of you selected group number
two maybe artists or entrepreneurs, or your partner that's coming through in this reading is, whether you met them or not, okay? We have the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, I'm seeing for some of you, this could be there's something here with long distance and traveling. Interesting. This person may be at a distance. Some of you may actually be moving, and that puts you at a distance from someone. Really interesting messages here. I'm definitely seeing traveling is really big. We have the Ace of Pentacles coming out upright. A brand new start, brand new home. I don't know why I'm seeing travel and moving so strongly for you. What's next in love? I'm seeing a new commitment coming through for sure. A lot of you are going to have someone say like, hey, I want to be with you. I want to actually be in a relationship with you, or like marry you or something. I don't know why I'm getting a really specific story from one person watching where it's like you decide to move far away from someone, but before you move, you guys get engaged or something, or you get married, which is, you know, someone would call that counterintuitive. Why would you do that right before you move really long distance? But it's sort of a beautiful gesture of like, we'll always be together no matter what, no matter how much like distance is between us. So a very unconventional type of relationship, but it's one where you're both living your own lives. It seems beautifully. Yeah, I said that, and the Hierophant came out in reverse. Very unconventional. And this may not even be like marriage. It feels sort of like you're making your own sort of commitment. I mean, it could be marriage, but this is an unconventional relationship that I'm seeing coming through for you in the near future. There's an element of it that's unconventional, whether it's long distance. Maybe it's like that people in your family or friends like always go for the same type of partner. You go for someone really, really different. I'm seeing also for some of you, like the dynamic of your relationship itself may be unusual. Maybe it's non-monogamous ethically. Maybe you have a really long distance relationship. Maybe there could even be like an age gap for some of you, or one person may be disabled, or you may be from different cultures. There's something here that's unconventional, but it's like, whatever, like I love this person, and you see something in this person that other people don't see, I feel. We have the Page of Wands coming out in reverse here. Yeah, definitely Page of Wands, Queen of Wands. There could be an age gap here as well. Some huge difference. It doesn't have to be age. It's just a huge difference. But like, they're both wands. They're like of the same, they come from the same place almost. They're cut from the same fabric. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah, there's an element here that, and with Othala coming out in reverse, your rune, Ten of Pentacles, I have a weird feeling that for some of you, either your family or the other person's family does not approve of the partnership. Really interesting. And I'm not going to necessarily say that is going to get in the way of your love, of your connection, but it's a complicating factor for sure. Yeah, this is not a perfect relationship. None of them are. No relationship is perfect. No connection is perfect here. There's just a really big, like, sort of gap that's normal people don't understand. And now I'm getting another vision here where it's like you and this person are literally soulmates. Like, your souls on the higher realms are best friends, and they constantly show up in, like, if you shamanic journey, if you astral project, they just constantly randomly pop up there, you know, because your souls are like best friends. And I feel like the two of you have a really hard time connecting on the physical realm sometimes, because just the human problems that come up, the natural human problems that come up, you may not be as well versed at them. And you know what else I'm seeing, guys? I feel really strongly that one of the people in this connection have not lived that many lifetimes as a human. You're both really old souls and have lived so many lives as different species, not even just on Earth, but in many different dimensions and places, okay? I feel like both of you were sort of there before, like at the existence, at the birth of this universe. We're getting real deep with y'all, all right? So if you're not into all this stuff I'm talking about, you might want to go pick another group, or there just may not be. messages for you in today's video, but guys, this is deep stuff. Anyways, I feel like y'all were soulmates. Okay, you both lived really, really so many lives, really old souls. But one person here is a lot more well-adjusted as a human than the other person is. And for that other person, and I feel like for the majority of you, you're the more well-adjusted one, but it could be reversed. It could be reversed, or you could be mirroring each other a bit. The other person, they just have a hard time with things such as like a situation where one person's family doesn't approve of the other, or like weird communication issues, especially with the Page of Wands coming out in reverse, you know, because it feels like you both come from these higher places where form does not necessarily exist, and your energy is the language. You know, you don't have to deal with things like spoken language, which is very limiting compared to your soul's language. You know what I'm saying? One person struggles with this hardcore, which is really fascinating. I'm also getting a lot of earth and fire energy from this generally. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, maybe some significant signs. They don't have to be though. I feel like if I were you, if I were in this connection, I would keep focusing on what is working between you two. You both clearly have this mutual love and appreciation of like philosophy, spirituality, deep conversations about the universe, you know. So you should focus on that. And when you're in your like higher chakra energy, when you want to get more into your lower chakra physical energy, I would do things with this person such as like live music, art, things like that. You know, there comes times though where there's just like a sort of disconnect due to stupid human issues that are literally only issues for humans. I don't know how else to put it. 10 of Pentacles in reverse, things like physical distance or certain individuals not approving of the connection. Money, 10 of Pentacles, money issues, like one person making more money than the other. Those are the dumb issues that get in the way here, but they really don't have to. And I feel like a part of you guys coming together may be learning how to bridge these gaps. And again, I know I'm talking a lot about the issues here. It's not toxic. This doesn't feel like a toxic connection at all by any means. This feels like normal relationship issues, stuff and things. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anyways, and by the way, guys, really passionate connection. I see you guys talking so deeply. Like, you can honestly talk for hours and hours and hours on end with this person and never run out of something to say. Also, physically, the sensual chemistry shared between you guys is like top notch, like God tier. Okay. We have the waning moon. What do you need to release coming out for what's next in your love life? Wow. Yeah, you're being asked to let go of anything that does not serve you, especially your past. Similar message came out for group number 1. Releasing your past and the frustrations you had there is really going to help serve you, I think. Let's see what else comes out. All right. I don't know if I want to take this one because that was kind of like a accident on my behalf. Let's see what comes out though. What's next in... Wow, so many cards just fell on the ground. Why do I keep doing this? Let's see what these ones say, though. You have this white dove, and it says, you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Wow. So big changes on the horizon for you. I feel, like I said, a lot of you are moving or some sort of family issue with like inheritance or paperwork. Oh, some of you may be at a distance, different countries. Paperwork is an issue, like legality is an issue. There's something dumb like that, some challenge with the two of you being together, and it feels like a very earthly human type of challenge, not a spiritual challenge, not like a difference between your personalities that's getting in the way of this relationship. It feels like a stupid human challenge that gets in the way. We have freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Beautiful. I love that. And look at her body language. Just like freely showing herself. There's like a natural wild element to this. You know, I'm getting a weird, really weird specific message here that this person may not mind things like cellulite, body hair, not body language, you know, having a little meat on your bones, and like you just feel like you can be yourself with this person. This is someone who appreciates raw, natural, authentic beauty, which is, it just makes you feel so good. And again, it's like, it's weird because this should be the norm, right? But I feel like a lot of us grow up and our only relationships with the gender which we're attracted to may sometimes feel like we have to sort of put on a show, or like suck our bellies in, or shave our entire bodies, or, you know, be rich, or, you know, have a lot of big muscles or a nice car. You know, there's these like sort of expectations that come with everyone. It doesn't matter what your gender is. It doesn't matter, you know, who you're attracted to. And to be with someone who's just real and appreciates the natural, real you and gets you, they don't diminish your beliefs. They don't, you know, doubt your experiences and what you're saying. It feels, I almost feel like you've never experienced that before, this person. And so when you experience it in this person, oh my gosh, it feels so right. It feels so freeing. And very shortly after meeting this person, you're going to just automatically like want to be around them more. But again, it's these dumb human issues that may separate you. And for some of you, I'm going to be honest, there may be periods of separation with each other, and you may evolve together. I'm not predicting that for everyone though, or even anyone. You know, if this already happened, like if this feels familiar to you, if this person feels familiar, oh, wait a second. We have the waning moon coming out as well. If you were with someone like this in the past, and these human issues caused you to separate and sever the soul tie, sever the cord, and you're thinking to yourself, man, this sounds like that person, but I don't want to get back with that person, I have a message for you. Life has this funny way of being cyclical. It's like a spiral, a slinky, a cord that goes round and round and round. And you may find yourself attracting very similar people all throughout your life. And as you elevate and ascend your personal vibration, it's like the same archetype of person will come back around, but they'll be much more ready and prepared for a relationship. And they'll be way more like intelligent, mature, as you mature as well. Okay, and vice versa. If you're on like a downward descent in life, you'll find people who remind you of, you know, people from the past, but, you know, a lot less mature and less better than them. I've noticed this before in some exes of mine, you know, where they really went downhill after we broke up, and then they would get like a Dollar Tree version of me, you know what I mean? Like a generic brand version of me. Or vice versa, you know. I've seen actually a really good friend of mine, she is apparently very attracted to a very specific type of person, but she got into a breakup and really did a lot of elevating personal work while single, and then she attracted someone who had like a lot of unusual similarities to the last person, but they were much more like emotionally mature, ready, available, like really good for them. And I feel like if this is sounding a lot like someone from your past whom you don't talk to anymore, you know, weird human issues may have separated you, I'm actually seeing a higher vibrational archetype of that soul, of that person coming through. And this is going to sound, again, psychotic for some of you, but that person's soul and spirit may have been that of a much, much, much higher being, and that higher being may be very well known, like an archangel or like a deity, you know, so they may have a lot of incarnations here on earth, even at the same time. And again, I know I sound psychotic right now. Anyways, as you elevate and ascend, you may actually be connecting with someone who has a little bit of that spirit in them, but at a much more elevated place in life. Okay, it's your reading, not mine, guys. You're the ones dealing with this. Here's the 2 cards that fell on the floor, though. This one says, a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. You know, as I shamanic journey, I noticed that what happens on the spiritual planes, the upper world and the lower world, they manifest right here in the middle world. They manifest right here in the physical world. And all of the spirits that you interact with in those worlds, they have some sort of physical manifestation and influence. So I don't know why I just shared that with you. But this was like a realization, a spiritual awakening I had yesterday. I was just thinking about this fact because it dawned on me that like I am surrounded by big cat energy. Like I have a jaguar spirit that follows me everywhere every time I shamanic journey, and protects my energy from negativity. And then there's like a tiger spirit and another one. And it dawned on me, I'm like, I literally have 3 cats in my house. And then I thought to myself, what if these like house cats are the physical manifestations of those spirits? And I don't know, I was just thinking about it. And then I fell asleep and I literally had a dream about these cats. And I was so afraid because it was a big cat in my dream. And obviously I was terrified. I'm like, oh my God, please don't eat me. But it was just trying to it was playing with a butterfly. It wanted nothing to do with me. And it felt very like loving and protective. So I don't know why I'm sharing this with you right now. Maybe some of you feel really connected to a certain deity or higher spirit or spirit guide of some sort. And I actually feel like they're sending you a physical manifestation of themselves. And maybe this person just has like a piece of their energy mixed with other spirit energies, like the fire element and maybe a little bit of like stardust or something. I don't know. But I feel like there is a spirit that is sending you their physical manifestation because y'all get along so well, and trying to sort of make it work on the physical realm will be quite the adventure. Okay, we also have this card that came out, and it says, look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. Well, like I said, soulmate energy, guys. And by soulmate, like, let's look at the Latin with that, a friend of the soul, soulmate. Okay, soulmates come in all shapes and sizes, as romance, as friends, pets, neighbors, clients, customers. Wow. The card that flipped over for you from the Wisdom of the Oracle is Unfinished Symphony. Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like you've met this person before. You just may not remember it. For most of you. Crazy. I'm going to read this from the book for you. It says, moving on is difficult when love lingers. Things are left unsaid, and you haven't had the opportunity for closure in your relationship and in your heart. You can still feel bound up in relationships when closure is denied you. It's important to achieve this for yourself. Write that letter, make that call, or have that conversation over a cup of coffee. You know what? This is really interesting. This card is coming out because keep in mind, you also had this card that says, what do you need to release? So a lot of you are still holding on to someone or have some sort of soul tie, soul connection with someone who sounds like the person we described here. And you may need to create closure for yourself in some way, shape, or form. Let's see what else it says. For peace of mind, accept matters as they are, make amends if need be, and declare your feelings, even if only to yourself. Be clear about what was left unresolved, and close the door on the past so you can set yourself free. Only then can new love blossom. Wow. So that's a very, very clear message. Your spirit guides are coming through in this reading to say, when you clear this out, when you release this and create whatever closure you need from this situation, you're going to attract someone new, it feels like. Someone who gives you that same feeling and all of the things that you felt with this person, okay? Or for some of you, this person that we just described is coming in for the first time. For a lot of you, I feel like you already met someone like this. Didn't work out, and you're gonna meet someone else who gives you everything this person did, but more, and it's healthier, you know what I mean? And that person's gonna come in when you resolve these old feelings for the other older person, I guess you could say. And or you just let go of past feelings for someone that you have feelings for in general. So interesting message there. Let's see. We're gonna finish off by getting some messages from the romance angels. They'll give us some good advice and messages on what to do in order to bring this beautiful love into your life. Wow, you guys see that card? You guys looking at what I'm looking at? It says release your ex. After we just had unfinished symphony and the waning moon saying what do you need to release, both of these cards saying release the past, let go. Now you have release your ex coming through. You know what? I might need to read this from the book for you as well. And then we also have, wow, pay attention to the red flags. Yeah, okay, I'm getting a clear message coming through for you. Group number 2 definitely would be shocked if any of you were also drawn into group number 1 because they had the exact opposite reading. But yeah, guys, I feel like this is a situation where a lot of you have already met this person who gives off this dragon energy, this Neptune energy. Like, oh my gosh, I never felt like free and heard and understood by someone. But this person, while they were all that in a bag of chips, sort of like spiritually, energetically, emotionally, you felt like you were soulmates, twin flames, whatever you want to call it, you know, and you still to this day feel their higher self and, you know, get that vibe. They felt like they were the Page of Wands here. I'm just feeling this intuitively, take it how it resonates, but it feels like they were not that well versed on like human relationships and how to maintain them, and they may have had some issues there where either like they prioritized their family over you or other people's opinions over you, or they didn't communicate enough, or they let dumb issues like money or location or whatever get in the way of this connection, even though you guys there's a ton of chemistry between you and there was like a ton of just shared interests and ideas and you guys could talk for hours. It feels like those sort of human issues became red flags within them. You know, it became more toxic, that they didn't have the tools to manage and maintain a healthy human relationship. And some of you guys may be hurting because you never experienced that sort of loving energy in the way that they gave it to you before. And now you're like, oh my gosh, this is the only person on this entire planet I can share that energy with. And first off, that's just so false. Like we said, this is promising you that there's someone who will give you everything this person gave, but even more. Okay, so let me read this Release Your Ex card from the Romance Angels, who know a lot more than us. You drew this card because your love life will improve once you emotionally and energetically release your ex-lover. That same message came through with the Unfinished Symphony card. Like literally, like new love will come in once you let go and create this closure for yourself. The benefits of doing so include increased happiness, feelings of freedom, which we saw here, and the ability to attract a new lover who would otherwise sense the presence of your ex in your aura. The moment you make the decision to let go of the past, it is done. Sometimes this is akin to peeling layers from the onion, so continuing to release your ex whenever old, familiar feelings arise, or you find yourself attracting people reminiscent of him or her. As the painting on this card depicts, you may want to ceremonially burn a letter to release the old relationship energy and symbolically let go of old feelings. Or you can call upon the romance angels to clear lingering attachments to your ex. I would highly recommend doing that if I were you. Literally pause this video and just say, romance angels or archangels or anyone who you trust in the spiritual realm, can you help me to burn away any lingering feelings and attachments that I have to my ex, to so-and-so, whoever it may be for you. And trust the process, and so it is. And yeah, I think that'll be really, really good for you. And I feel like that will bring this new chapter in, and you're going to attract someone who, it's like you have all the good stuff that you had with your ex. It's like you're getting that, but you're also getting an actual healthy relationship that works in the 3D as well as the 5D, because that was the issue. Like, it worked in the 5D, you know, your souls got along great, whatever, you know, But you deserve that 3D connection as well that works on the physical realm. You know, not a connection where it's like the idea of it is great and the potential is great, but the reality of it isn't. No, you deserve one where it's like, yeah, the idea is great, the energy is great, the spirit is great, and the physical reality is amazing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Pay attention to the red flags. I would not ignore them just to hang on to these old feelings. You know, even if your spirit guides once condoned this relationship with this old person, I feel like they do not condone how this person handled things. It does feel, we saw in the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands, it feels like one person was really a lot more mature than the other. I mean, let's just go back to that for a second. Like, this is a queen, this is a page. They clearly, while they're cut from the same cloth, they're both in the Wands family, both very fiery, charismatic, well-traveled, friendly, whatever, very creative, innovative, spiritually connected, all that. Like, one is a queen and one is a page. Pages literally represent like children, like that level of maturity. And not only that, but the page is in reverse. Like, this pages of Wands in reverse, they really represent like bad communication, really bad communication. And just, I don't know, a little bit of ego as well. Like, this person feels like they may have been insecure that you were on a queen level here, really, really connected. And it's like you mastered, it's like you both have the same energy, but you mastered that energy and how to express that energy as a human. And they did not master that. And I feel like they may have been very jealous and let, you know, random issues get in the way. Anyways, your King of Wands is out there, King of Wands or Queen of Wands, whatever it may be. And like I said, it's like all of the good positive stuff you got from, you know, being with someone who's in the same energy fam as you, I guess I could say, you're gonna get in this next chapter of your love life. But at a much more mature level. And this is all going to take place once you really energetically release this person and understand, like, and trust that the universe is bringing you someone even better, okay? Thank you guys for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and my spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Definitely comment your stories down below. I'd love to hear, like, really how this resonated with you. That's my, like, favorite part of these readings. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome. Let's see what's next in love for you. I already went ahead to roll the astro dice, pick an animal spirit, and pick a rune. The rune that came out for you is called Lagus, and this is the... dropped it on the floor. I keep dropping things today. Anyways, Lagus is the rune of water, and this is showing that no matter what season emotionally you find yourself in, go with the flow, okay? This could mean, like, if you're feeling like it's emotionally chilly right now, there's not much going on, and it feels like everyone around you is, you know, getting into relationships or married or moving or doing these big moves in life and nothing's happening for you. This is saying trust the process, go with the flow, and don't try to force these big changes to take place. Like, blessings will very soon flow in your direction, short enough, you know, in enough time. This is Luna, by the way. She apparently really likes the Lagus rune. She herself is a water sign, so I understand that. She's a Cancer, just like her mommy. And anyways, we're just gonna keep on going. Keep on rolling with the punches, just like water does, you know, going with the flow. Oh, she stole our butterfly. Oh, no. Anyways, we have Mercury in Sagittarius in the 6th house. And you know what's funny? When I rolled this dice and I saw the 6th house, which is the home of Virgo, which is service, I weirdly enough felt like you and someone else share a love of a certain animal or pet. So for example, you could be a cat owner and this person's a cat owner, and you really bond on that. And you know, I feel like cat people just get along like intrinsically, like the character traits that makes one love cats can be really beneficial if both people have that characteristic. Same thing with dogs or birds or any other animal. So there might be a shared love or interest of a certain animal. I know that's really specific, but I am seeing it. Mercury talks about communication as well, traveling, business, and Sagittarius deals with higher education, spiritual studies, and philosophy, things like that. I don't know why I'm getting the message here that if your love life was feeling really slow or having issues and it just didn't really flow that smoothly, it was because, and it is because, you're being asked to actually focus on either your education, higher studies, spirituality, or your career and business and growing that. Because it feels like you are meant to connect with someone who shares a lot of Virgo traits. You may be both givers. Okay, you may both take really good care of yourselves, and therefore together, like, it's really, really easy. But it feels like you're both in this time right now where you're being asked to sort of continue to develop yourself and grow yourself. And weirdly enough, I know this reading is called What's Next for You in Love, but I'm actually seeing the answer to that is by focusing on yourself. If you have a business, if you're a business owner, I'm really, really seeing this message of focusing on like extending the amount of money that you make. Or if you have like a certain idea, like writing a book or something, you're actually being asked to focus on that right now instead. I'm seeing here some of you may be pursuing some form of higher education. And again, the message here is like literally just focus on that, get your degree, do your thing. Don't even worry about love. Like, let it find you. Because I feel like you are trying to do this very ambitious thing for yourself that feels very like self-expansive, such as growing a business, getting a degree, or just becoming a better person in some way, shape, or form somehow. And that's great. That's fine and dandy. But while you were doing that, you may have felt guided to sort of look for love, go on dates, things like that. And that kind of became a distraction for everything. And you may have attracted situations that just didn't work. And actually, during that time, you probably attracted a lot of people who were doing what you were supposed to do, which was focusing on themselves, to the point where they may have had commitment issues like, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship, or things like that. Like, I need to just get my degree or my career off the ground, blah, blah, blah. You kept attracting people like that. Because spiritually, that's what you were supposed to be doing. That was the season of your life to really focus on yourself and grow that. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of you guys weren't reading the signs of the universe that clearly, but that's okay. You're reading it now. We're talking about it now. So your message here is actually to keep growing whatever it is that you're in your personal life. And that path, that stream of like going with the flow and focusing on your current ideas, goals, projects, and hobbies that you're naturally feeling pulled to do, that flow is going to eventually lead you to love in some way, shape, or form. We also have the rabbit coming out as well. I just got a funny message that for a lot of you, it's like you knew you were supposed to be focusing on yourself, but how do I put this? Your loins, your hormones may have sabotaged you and, made you focus a little bit too heavily on the people around you and on dating. And I feel for some of you, I wonder if you were using like dating apps or something, and it was like the quality of people just were never right. I'm getting a little tinge of regret from some of you as well, thinking to yourself, man, I shouldn't have been focusing so much on love or relationships during these past few years of my life. Like, oh, how much further along would I have been at something else, like at a business, a job, a career, and my personal life, personal financial freedom, etc. I'm shuffling the cards, by the way. You can't see it because Luna's in the way, and I ain't gonna move her. She's just a little baby, She wants to be a part of the reading. So we'll make her a part of the reading, I guess. She is literally the biggest attention whore I've ever met. Like, look at this. There's one camera in this entire house, and she just has to sit right in front of it. She's the same way when there's no camera around, by the way. Like, she's constantly sitting on people and, like, demanding snuggles and attention. Yep, she just stole the Navajo sandstone. That's fine. All right, moving on. Yes, just destroy everything, Luna. Okay. What's next for you in love? We have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. This is so funny. I feel like you're reading, like we're asking what's next in love, and it's like money, success, wealth. It's like almost like your spirit guides don't even want to talk about love right now. They're just like, just focus on like making money and just focus on you doing you. Focus on, okay, yep, she stole the butterfly. Focus on your own expansion, self-growth, and all that good stuff. On your own character development. I feel like a lot of you in the past, you may have been so focused on other people's character development. It's like you were so in love with the feeling of being in love and the beauty that comes with that. You just wanted to do everything. I feel like you really overgave in relationships past, and I just feel so strongly this is a season for your own expansion. It's almost like the answer to this question is resisting the question. It's like love will come on the path of you expanding personally. And look at that, Knight of Cups. This is such a confirmation. And you know what I'm seeing in these two cards? Someone who really, really, really appreciates you for all that you do. You know, not someone who takes you for granted. The Knight of Cups is extremely romantic. They could be a water sign, just like, actually, I did mention Luna. So definitely could be a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. They don't have to be, though. Let's see what else comes out. I'm seeing being romance. I don't know why I'm seeing things like picnics. I'm seeing things like female friendships for some reason is sticking out. We have the Empress coming out completely sideways like this. I'll put it upright. And this is absolutely beautiful. This is a reading that's saying, like, as you step into your own personal growth, love will happen anyways. You know, I don't even know how to describe the energy I'm feeling now. The hours are getting they're getting late, and I feel like it's harder for me to describe the visions and energy that comes through in these readings the later it gets, but I'll try my best. I just have this feeling of like naivety in the past, of putting so much emphasis on the people around you, almost like you mothered or fathered the people around you for so long, people pleasing or constantly prioritizing the happiness of others above your own. And it feels a little subconscious too. Like you may have thought like, oh yeah, I totally love myself, I totally care for myself. But it's not at a really, really deep level. And I feel like there's an energy shift taking place within you right now, where it's like you're done people pleasing first and foremost, but also like you're done chasing people, you're done trying to force it to happen, you're done just, I don't know, focusing so heavily on the happiness of those around you and not your own happiness. It's almost like if you're in a group of people and you're really craving Chinese food and everyone is like, okay, where should we eat? Instead of just saying, let's get Chinese food, you would be like, well, what do you want? What do you want? And people may be like, oh, I don't know. And it's like, well, what are you really craving? You know, you just keep asking and asking and asking, trying to make sure the people around you are so happy for some reason, when in reality, you know exactly what you want. Or I'll give you another example. When I was in school, when I was in high school, I didn't want to make the teachers feel like no one was listening or like disrespected. So if I had to pee, I would literally hold it all day long because I refused to use the bathroom during class, because I was like, oh, I don't want them to feel bad that I don't want to listen to their lesson or blah blah blah. And it was so uncomfortable. I don't know why I did that. Like, oh, I don't want to inconvenience the teacher, I don't want to inconvenience the class, the people next to me, I'll just suffer in silence instead of literally just peeing, and like no one even cared. And I feel like I'm sharing this with you because there's something about that that's similar to you, or was similar to you. where it's like you were so used to minimizing your own opinions, thoughts, wants, needs, and comfortability for so long. Like that was your normal. You didn't think anything was wrong with that. So you thought you were like loving yourself and totally fine, normal, but you really weren't. You were prioritizing other people so heavily above your own needs, wants, and comfortability. Oh my gosh. And, that didn't necessarily attract the best people. But then we see the Empress coming out here, where it's like you're stepping into your Empress energy. I feel like this transition already took place for a lot of you. And I see someone coming through. Because this transition took place within you, I feel like someone's going to come through who's really, really, really going to appreciate you for who you are. And you may even start to notice this already. Wow. We have the Emperor that came out in reverse. Oh my gosh. So matching pair here, Empress and Emperor. Very powerful matching pair. More powerful than any of the kings and queens. However, the masculine counterpart here is in reverse. Okay, so there's something to do with your yang energy, your masculine energy, that still needs developing in order to bring this union into place. Which makes perfect sense. We saw that, okay? We saw the transition take place with your feminine energy, learning to receive, learning to prioritize your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Like, okay, I am going to, use the bathroom when I have to. I am going to say what I want. I am going to let people come to me. I am going to let people compliment me. I'll accept it. I feel like you've started to wake up that divine feminine energy within you, but now you need to start awakening that divine masculine energy within you as well, which is being selfish, focusing on your own expansion, your own growth, and not necessarily the service of people around you. Okay. And I see that so strongly. Like I said, career or education really sticks out to me, or even like spiritual development for some of you. It's like, just let yourself be single for a bit and be in this period of not that much going on in your life, because this is the perfect time for you to really get that to-do list done, get some of your ideas out there that's been on your mind and actually do them, perform them, make a ton of progress in your career, in your fitness, in your whatever it is that like you have tons of ideas floating around in your brain. I know it. This is a time for you to do that. This is a time where things may be quieter. People around you may not be, constantly occupying your time and energy. So instead of sitting here and being uncomfortable and focusing on that lack, like, oh, I don't have love, I don't have people around me, I don't have this or that, the third, look at the abundance. I have so much time to focus on writing that book I always wanted to write. I have so much time to study. I have all this space in my life to create and focus on me, self-expansion. That's the thing. All of those years you were in that people-pleasing mode, you let that time sort of go to waste a little bit. That was precious time that you could have used for self-development. You could have been learning languages or new skills or growing your business, your career, whatever, but you were focused on servicing others. For some of you, this could have been like you raising a child as well, or just it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. And I also want to clarify for you that time was not wasted. Okay, that's not what we're saying. That time was not wasted, but it was a time in your life where you were really self-sacrificing. And what's next for you in love is the end of that period and starting to be more selfish. And that, ironically, is going to lead you to people who actually appreciate you. I remember sometimes I think to myself how sad it is sometimes at like funerals, especially with women, where it's like, oh, she was such a great mother and sister and this and that, and she did so much for everyone around her. And then I think to myself, that's kind of sad sometimes, because it's like, why are all of her life accomplishments focused on what she did for other people? Like how she served other people. Like it's never something like, oh my gosh, like the way she dressed for herself was amazing, or she really put her writing, her voice out there and it was great. You know what I mean? I don't know. Am I the only one who has that thought sometimes? We have the 9 of Swords coming out. Yeah, this is what I'm feeling. It's like you're being asked to go from like a lack mindset, feeling upset, feeling lonely, to this like abundance mindset, and that'll bring in the love. We have Justice here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I just got a vision, like, remember I said it was not a waste. All that time spent people pleasing was not a waste. I feel first of all, I know that in this universe, everything is balanced, okay? So all of that time you spent, that energy you spent on other people is going to come back to you. And that's why justice is coming out. And we see the Knight of Cups literally headed towards you, okay? Like it's coming back big time. Like luck is on your side when it comes to love, when it comes to success. And even the rabbit represents fertility. Oh, you know what I just realized? We have the rabbit and the Empress. Both of these are fertile. Okay, some of y'all may be having babies, okay? Reproducing. That may be a part of your next chapter in love for some of you. So if you're not into that, pay close attention. Wow, look at that. We literally have the 9 of Pentacles, and it is coming out in reverse, but this also represents that balance being made. You know, what you gave so willingly in the past, you will now be receiving big time. Like, and this could be a relationship where you're with someone who gives a lot to you. Like they may be very, very wealthy, for example, and take you on these extravagant vacations, just really appreciate you for who you are, etc. They don't have to even be wealthy. They could just be really, really into you. Just like person of your dreams, you know? But they're not going to come in until you create more balance within yourself with this masculine energy. And like I said, this is a time for you to start focusing on, like, first of all, allowing yourself to receive like you have been, but also like self-expansion, whatever that looks like for you. Like, I'll give you an example. Right now I'm focusing on like learning Spanish and growing my YouTube channels and my business, and I'm not really focused on the people around me and meeting new people. You know what I mean? I'm seeing a similar energy for you. That's why I bring it up. We have the 5 of Wands coming out in reverse. Really interesting, with the Emperor coming out in reverse as well. I don't know why I'm getting an image in my head. A lot of people who selected group number 3, I just feel like there's a big chunk of you who maybe divorcees, okay, where it was like you were with someone who almost wanted to make you like a housewife or like house husband or whatever, but like they held all the power. They didn't want to give you that power. It feels kind of toxic a little bit. Could be very like argumentative. It's like I just feel some tension from the past where you went really underappreciated. And it was like you were only focusing on making the people around you happy. But like that's only what you were known for. That's only what you are recognized for. And that's what's changing in this new chapter in love. It's like you're being recognized for you and how smart and intelligent and beautiful and graceful and like everything you have to offer as a human. You don't even have to do anything for anyone to be appreciated. That's the thing. And that's something that I don't think you've experienced a lot of in your life. You know, you're lovable without doing favors for people. You're lovable without being of any, you know, direct service to people. Like literally just you sharing your opinions and taking up space is helpful and something to be appreciated. And I feel like you're attracting someone who really, really appreciates that with the Knight of Cups and views you as this sort of empress, which is incredible. I love this. Okay, let's see what else comes out for you. We're gonna shuffle up the Moonology deck to see what Mama Moon has to say, what's next for you in love. Okay, that was fast. We have take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. I feel like a lot of you are taking a break from love, actually. Yeah, this totally correlates with everything that I'm feeling. It's like you may be feeling right now that everyone else's love life is taking off and there's just nothing going on in your life, but that is so not true. If you follow the waters, you know, follow the flow, go with the flow, and just like allow this sort of quiet time to take place, you'll notice that it takes you exactly to where you want to be. The intensity of the full moon has abated, and what are we left with? That's what this card is asking you. It suggests that the situation you're asking about has now peaked, and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly forging ahead. Group number 3, this is a time for you to really process everything that's gone down for you in the past, the recent past, and literally just focus on self-care and growing yourself and whatever it is you have in your life right now. I'm literally seeing what's next for you in love is a period where you're not even focused on outwardly expression and validation of love. And ironically, when you're focusing on yourself and you don't even care, it brings you right on the doorstep of, a really, really good love, which is so funny. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way things are now and give yourself and others time out to relax. Breathe. We can't be on all the time. If you feel that you've hit an obstacle or even failed in some way, now is the time to reflect on how to do things differently next time. Be honest with yourself if you feel bad about your current situation, and then remind yourself that life goes in cycles. Beautiful. Exactly. Things will definitely change. The energy will change. You don't need to be worried like, oh my god, I'm gonna be single forever, this is gonna happen forever. Like, no, life goes in cycles. Okay, give yourself time to breathe out. It feels like, I don't know why, I feel like a lot of you gotten through a breakup recently or a divorce or something. Not all of you for sure, but like a lot of you. And it's like, bro, why are you worrying about what's next in love? Okay, take some time to just focus on you. It'll come to you for sure. And look at that. We even see this in the cards. Like, you're here on this Empress throne, sitting down, focusing on you, relaxing, processing. And look at that. This knight is literally headed towards you with a cup of love. Wow. Okay. We're going to get a Lover's Oracle card to see what's next in love. Okay. We had a few cards flip over. This is the first one. Beautiful. And it says, healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. We have this one. This came out for group number 2 as well. Freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. And this one, which came out for another group as well. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Yeah, I just feel this really strong energy of giving yourself time and space to just process everything, breathe out, relax, and give yourself space to grow personally. This is not a time for you to necessarily chase love. In fact, if you're watching this, delete all your dating apps, okay? Like, get rid of it. Don't go actively seeking something out right now. And instead, what can you do to really pour into the relationship you have with yourself, to grow and expand yourself and make yourself more valuable? That's what you should be doing right now. And there may come a time in the future, in the next few weeks or months, where you naturally feel really strongly pulled to do something that may lead you to love, but don't try to swim against the current right now. Okay, if you're feeling really overwhelmed or like there's a lot for you to focus on, school, work, getting your life together, whatever it may be, focus on that. The energy is going to shift eventually, and you'll feel much more inspired and guided to take actions that lead you to love. And that time may actually come sooner rather than later, especially if you are going with the flow here. But just do what you're feeling guided to do right now. It'll all make sense in the future. Okay. Wow. All right. We had 2 cards come out for you. Serendipity and soulmates, of course. And I'm going to read both these from the book. There are relationship messages in this book. So let's start with 18, serendipity, and see what it has to say for you. Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. You have met or are about to meet someone vitally important to your journey. Someone Spirit wants to bring you into your life. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. It is out of your hands. Exactly. Pay attention to the signs Spirit presents. See, it's out of your hands. Focus on yourself in the meantime. Then we have soulmates. Let's read all about that with beautiful penguins. Penguins may be a sign for some of you. I don't know why I feel guided to say that, but there you go. And let me just find the message. Consider love in the deepest sense. Love so powerful that you will never be the same, regardless of how long your relationship lasts. Consider friendships and romantic bonds so compelling that they overwhelm you with gratitude or break you open so you will finally claim who you were meant to be. Even a companion animal reminds you that it is you who is being rescued and healed. Pay attention, for you are in the presence of a soulmate, come to guide you home to the real you. I love that message. Oh my gosh. And let's finish off with some messages from your romance angels. How can you bring this love into your life and really make the most of this next chapter in love? Passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Oh my God. There's some very fiery romance that'll be coming into your life. With these cards, with this, oh my God. I'm telling you, taking this time to yourself is going to lead to the most passionate, intense soulmate connection. I am telling you, this situation is calling for you to have faith. In fact, the best relationship advice I can possibly give to everyone who's single is to pretend as if you're going to be single for the rest of your life, okay? What would you do if you knew you would never meet anyone for the rest of your life? You're like a nun. What would you do to make your life as happy as possible? You know, that is your roadmap to actually meeting a soulmate. You know, would you travel on your own? Would you start going to the gym? Because sometimes we get into this mode where we're waiting for someone to come in instead of just living our best lives. So if no one was going to come in, what would you do? That's your roadmap to a happy life. You have trust coming in. The situation is calling for you to have faith. I feel like have trust in the universe that this is happening for you. Have faith that, you know, even though right now your physical reality may look like, oh my God, I'm never going to meet someone. Nothing's happening for me. That couldn't be further from the truth. What if right now actually is a blessing from the universe? Because it's like, okay, this is the time for you to really focus on yourself, organize your house and your belongings, get yourself prepared for this very busy social season that's coming in. When there's this soulmate, you're going to want to spend all your time with them. This is the perfect time for you to get your life in order before this big shift happens. So stop sitting here and acting like it's this devastating lack. Like, oh my God, no one loves me. Like, no, idiot. This is an opportunity for you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be mean to you. This is an opportunity for you to literally just focus on yourself, get your life together before all this pops off. Like, get your underwear drawer nice and cleaned out. Change your bed sheets, clean your house, make some stinking money so that way when this soulmate comes in, you're not broke with like underwear that has holes in it, house is a mess. Like, straight up, guys, straight up. This shouldn't even be a message. We have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. Yeah, we saw that earlier. Give yourself time to breathe out. I think that message came through for literally every group, like forgiving and healing the past. And we have flirt. Oh, yes. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. See, you'll naturally feel this pull to flirt and put yourself out there when it comes. Okay, so don't be mad if for right now you feel like just staying in, organizing, sleeping, or just like focusing on yourself. Because like I said, this is a moment before a lot is about to pop off for you. So make the most of it. Like, don't be sitting here crying like, oh, I ain't got no man. Okay, I stopped recording and I don't know where I was, but what I was saying was it's ironically in the moments that we are happy with our lives and we don't necessarily, think we need a relationship that it tends to come in. It's ironically when we are cultivating peace within ourselves, we're content with the friendships we have, with, where things are headed in our life, that soulmates just pop up. It's when we least need them that soulmates emerge. I'm telling you, when you're desperate for love, when you're desperate for that connection, it's like the universe almost blocks it from you. But when you're content and happy with yourself and what's going on, and you're feeling balanced and strong in yourself, that's when these beautiful connections come forward, because you're in a healthy space. Therefore, you can attract a really healthy and amazing relationship. So thank you guys for joining me. Definitely watch. And if you have watched, what am I saying? Definitely like this video, comment how it resonated down below. and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye bye.